If you struggle with making a small space work, these interior styles will help. So, your space feels unfinished. Like, no matter what you do, it just doesn't look right. Maybe the layout is off or the furniture isn't working. But here's the thing, fixing a small space isn't just about adding more. It's about knowing what to change and what to keep. That's exactly what we're doing today. In this series, we're breaking it all down for you. The right materials, decor, and layouts that actually work in small spaces. No fluff, just real solutions. And today, we're tackling Ellis's apartment, a 10 feet by 26 feet that needs a modern contemporary transformation. This is the 48th design in our 100 Interiors Challenge. And trust me, this one's tricky. She wants a kitchen, dining, and living area, but also an entertainment zone. So, how do you fit all that into a small space without making it feel cramped? Here's the good news. We're not changing the walls or flooring. Since they already align with the modern contemporary style, we're skipping unnecessary renovations. But that also means the real challenge is in the layout, making sure the space works while keeping it functional and visually balanced. Let's get started. Let's make this living area work for you. To fully maximize your space, you can position the sectional sofa in the corner. That way, you create a cozy yet functional seating area. But at the same time, you keep enough room to move around comfortably. It also helps define the living area, so everything feels structured and intentional. But a sofa alone won't be enough. You'll need a coffee table to complete the setup. A combination of the Barrington coffee table and an element end table works best because it mixes different shapes and materials. This makes the space look more interesting, but it also keeps things practical and intentional. Instead of just one large table, this setup adds layers and depth to your design. Now, to soften the area, you can add an area rug under the seating. It helps define the layout, so the living space feels more put together. A rug also adds warmth and texture, but you don't want something too bold that might overwhelm the design. A neutral or lightly textured rug keeps the space balanced and visually seamless. For the windows, you might think curtains are the way to go, but they can sometimes feel too bulky in a small space. So instead, you can use blinds to keep things sleek and modern. They also give you full control over the light, so you can adjust the brightness throughout the day without making the room feel heavy or cluttered. And now, let's talk about adding personality. A blank wall behind the sofa? That's a wasted opportunity. You can hang a large statement piece, like the Ocean Wave triptych, to add movement and color. This makes the space feel more dynamic, but it also helps tie everything together. Instead of a plain wall, you get something that feels intentional and unique to you. But lighting? That's what really sets the mood. A modern chandelier changes the entire feel of the space. It softens the room with its glass pendants, so you create a balanced and elegant look. Then, you can add recessed lights to brighten the space, so no area feels too dim or dull. This way, your living area looks warm and inviting at any time of the day. A modern, cozy, and functional living space that feels effortless. Now that we've optimized the layout, adding a TV wall is definitely possible. And that's what we're diving into next. You can install a marble slab with reinforcement to create a luxury statement piece while securely supporting a TV. But if that feels too expensive, there are great alternatives. A drywall with reinforced wood backing is a cost-effective and simple solution, while a fluted MDF or wood panel partition adds a stylish, decorative touch without breaking the budget. Now that the partition wall is in place, it's time to add storage. A built-in cabinet above gives you space for essentials, but pairing it with a floating shelf below and a floating console underneath keeps the design looking light and modern. To complete the setup, mount your TV and style the console with a few carefully chosen decor pieces. But something still feels unfinished. The best way to elevate the look? LED strip lighting. It enhances the ambiance and adds depth and dimension to the wall, so everything feels more polished and high-end. And the best part? The TV wall sits perfectly in front of your living area while still leaving plenty of room to move around comfortably. Moving on to the dining area, you can position it next to the living room, but adding a marble partition wall keeps the spaces visually connected. This way, they still feel open and cohesive, but there's a clear distinction between the living and dining areas. To make the dining space feel inviting and well-balanced, positioning the dining table in the center aligns it with the room's layout, so the space feels more structured. A marble dining table brings in a high-end, sophisticated touch, but it also keeps the design feeling clean and elegant. But a table alone won't complete the space. To complement it, you can add dining chairs with a mix of white and deep green upholstery. This contrast makes the area feel more visually interesting, but it still stays cohesive with the rest of the design. To enhance the overall look, an area rug under the dining set helps define the space, so it doesn't feel like it's blending into the rest of the room. A neutral or lightly textured rug works best, but it shouldn't overpower the furniture. It should add subtle warmth and structure instead. When it comes to lighting, you can install a modern pendant light and pin lights above the dining table. But a sculptural black and gold chandelier makes a bigger impact. It acts as a focal point, but it also gives off a warm and inviting glow, making the dining area feel more refined and intentional. If you want to add personality, a large framed artwork on the dining wall can do the trick. A piece with botanical elements brings a fresh and natural touch, but it also connects visually with the greenery in the living area. This way, both spaces feel more cohesive instead of looking like separate zones. Then, to bring the table setting to life, you can use simple yet elegant table decor. Folded napkins, neutral-toned plates, and a centerpiece with white flowers create a balanced, polished look. A small fruit bowl on the side adds a pop of color, but it also keeps the table functional for everyday use. With these updates, your dining space feels more polished, modern, and welcoming. The combination of textures, furniture, and lighting makes the area feel stylish, but also practical, so you can enjoy a space that is both functional and aesthetically pleasing. Let's move on to the last area, the kitchen. The kitchen cabinets were left as they were, so you don't need to change them. They already match the design, but the space needed a few functional upgrades to make it more efficient and organized. But there was one issue: the exposed walls behind the sink and counter. Over time, they could get stained from water splashes and cooking. So, to prevent this, the backsplash was extended, giving the walls extra protection. Now, you don't have to worry about constant cleaning. Then, to improve visibility and add a modern touch, under-cabinet lighting was installed. It makes the workspace brighter and more functional, but it also gives the kitchen a sleek, high-end look. The cooking range was repositioned, so the workflow is much smoother. Before, the layout felt a bit unbalanced, but now, everything is placed efficiently, making it easier for you to move between the sink, prep area, and stove without feeling cramped. But there was an awkward gap in the upper cabinets that wasn't being used properly. So, to maximize storage, the cabinets were replaced and extended. Now, you get more storage space without wasting any area, making the kitchen feel more complete and intentional. Then, there was the issue of where to place groceries or prep ingredients. The main countertop would get cluttered easily, so a floating prep table was added on the side. This gives you a dedicated space to organize your items before putting them away, so everything stays neat and functional. For better functionality, a two-door refrigerator was placed next to the sink. This makes it easier to grab ingredients while cooking, but it also ensures that the overall layout remains balanced. These small but important upgrades made the kitchen feel more practical and efficient. The original cabinets stayed the same, so the design still looks cohesive, but now the space is optimized for daily use. Everything was arranged carefully so you can cook, prep, and store items more easily without feeling restricted. Now, let's take a full tour of the complete makeover. If you have any thoughts or suggestions, drop them in the comments below. And if you want more home transformations, make sure to subscribe.